Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Canadians Football Podcast. I'm your host, Matty P.
And co-host C Money.
And we are here to rock your football world with episode 60.
Woohoo!
Let's go.
First things first.
Get to the news. Robert Quinn traded to the Eagles.
Big move for the Eagles, trying to add to that already very good defense. I think that was a great move for them, and only fourth round pick. That's highway robbery. I don't know how the Eagles get away with so many decent trades that really are nice for them. It seems like they never make a bad trade. They got a good GM, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a stellar move coming out of the bye.
Yeah.
They host Pittsburgh this weekend, and they should be able to take that game pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, they got a really nice schedule. I mean, I guess some of these NFC East matchups are going to be tougher than maybe they looked at the start of the year, with the Giants doing so well and the Cowboys defense looking really good and their team's looking good. So that's a little bit better division than we thought at the start of the year.
Kadarius Toney traded to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that if he can get his head on straight and start actually getting on the field, he's a really good player, and I like that move for the Chiefs. I don't know what they gave up. I don't know what the terms were for that trade, but I can't imagine it was much because he wasn't even playing for the Giants, and he had 3 good games, I think, last season. First round pick, obviously very talented when you watch him, but something's going on there behind the scenes, and they just won't let him play. So I don't know. He's just an idiot, and things continue in the same vein with Kansas City, or he straightens his career out, gets his head on straight, and gets on the field, and all of a sudden we see the potential blossom.
Jamar Chase sidelined 4 to 6 weeks with a hip injury.
Ouch, that hurts. I mean, I guess it's mid-season. He'll be back, but yeah, I don't have much more to say about that. That's just too bad. It's unfortunate for the Bengals. Our Bengal fans in the audience are going to be disappointed with that.
Yeah, just when you think that Bengals offense is turning a corner,
right?
You run into this, and I know they got Boyd there, Hurst, and Higgins, and Mixon, but Jamar was such a key component.
Oh yeah, he's the number one.
So we'll see what the Bengals can do on Monday Night Football against their division rival.
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel Elliott not expected to play this Sunday.
It's Tony Pollard time, baby.
It could be Tony Pollard time, maybe with a little sprinkle of Dalton Schultz.
Didn't he get hurt too?
He's back, and they've been slowly working him in to the mix, and he had a better week last week.
Yeah, I thought he kind of had an awkward tackle or got hit kind of weird.
I think he did
but it wasn't.
Tweak his PCL again, but it's something he can deal with.
Something in his knee, yeah,
is what I was reading. So.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good. But yeah, Tony Pollard, all you Tony Pollard truthers, fire up those shares.
Yeah, throw them in your starting lineup because are they hosting the Bears? Is that who they're playing?
Oh yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that's they should absolutely destroy the Bears. The Bears are going to be feeling good. They just beat the Patriots on national TV. Woohoo! Feeling good, feeling fine. And then Dallas is going to come in there and squash them.
Well, you mean Fields is going to come in there because it's in Dallas, if I remember correctly.
Right, yeah. So just all the more reason to go heavy on the Cowboys if you're betting.
Should be interesting to see if that Chicago offense can keep rolling after they destroyed my ticket on Monday.
Ooh, I bet they destroyed a lot of tickets on Monday.
Thank you, Patriots. Thank you, Belichick.
Yeah, I don't know why. Belichick's usually so good at taking away what you're good at, and obviously the Bears only run, so maybe the Patriots aren't as good at stopping the run as we thought.
Yeah, maybe they just weren't prepared for Fields to run the ball 13 times. I do not know.
Right, yeah.
Shall we, or before we get to the studs and duds section of this podcast, do you want to shout out a beer or anything?
Yeah, sure, actually. Got these new, this new beer is from our friends at Good Neighbor Brewery, located in Transcona. But anyway, they're a good company. They got a lot of brews that I like out there. But they just released a new line here. It's called the Imperial Sour Ale with boysenberry and plum. And instead of Good Neighbor labeling, these are labeled as Bad Neighbor, and they're black. It's like the dark side, the evil sours. So they're stronger than your typical sour, 8%, but they're really tasty. I like them. So give it a shot.
All right, and shout out to our local listeners: Joel, Bengals fan; Mark, Bengals fan; Allie, bottom feeder; Dale, I'm going to crush you this week; Mike in the middle. We got so many 3 and 4 teams right now in that league, and a win can change it.
Yeah. Oh, this week, everybody's wins and losses is going to shift the standings. It could completely flip. Because 2 at 2 and 5, and then 6 at 3 and 4. That's tight. That's parity. That's what this league is all about. And then at the top, the cream obviously rises to the top. So you got myself and Mark sitting there at I'm 7-0 and Mark is 6-1, crushing it.
Who do you owe your success to? Shout out your team there. Who you got on it?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God. Just kidding. I'd like to thank myself for drafting a kick-ass team. Let's see. Jalen Hurts, maybe. He's been good. Saquon Barkley, he's been good. Cooper Kupp, he's been good. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's been good. Solid team. Travis Kelce, also very good. So, yeah, those are kind of my studs right there.
Very good, very good. We're coming for you.
Yeah, everyone is.
Now let's get to the studs.
Studs and nudes.
The obvious 2 studs of the week. Again, Mr. Joe Burrow with his 481 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown, I believe.
Boom.
And Jamar Chase going off.
Yeah, Bengals at it again.
Those 2 just seem to have a connection that just can't be destroyed or stopped until the injury. But,
right.
He'll be back.
Injuries will prevent all
performance.
Success.
Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, huge game from Jacobs. He's the real deal this year.
He's putting it together. I guess that O-line is just coming together as well, hey? Not too bad.
Well, and he's getting that bell cow role that's so hard to come by in the league this year. Almost every single team uses some sort of committee. And that was expected in Las Vegas, which is why people were kind of down and shying away from drafting him early. But now, if you took a shot on him in the RB dead zone of drafts, he is paying huge dividends for you.
Eckler, 2 touchdowns.
Yep. He's been a beast ever since Herbert's ribs got hurt.
The conspiracy theory of Herbert's ribs.
Not too conspiratory.
But if you could take it back to last season, when didn't Buddy there get an injection into his ribs and then Herbert went off?
Yeah, well, Taylor was, going to get a shot, and they actually accidentally punctured his lung, so then he lost his starting gig.
And then Herbert went off.
Yeah, well, the rest is history.
Yeah, anyways, those Chargers are on a bye along with the Chiefs.
Bye-bye, Chiefs.
Kenneth Walker, my boy. my offensive rookie of the year bet right now. It's obvious now.
Well, he looks good, yeah.
He had 23 attempts for 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. His first game over 100 rushing yards. So congrats to him.
Well, if it ended today, I'd still choose Breece Hall, but it doesn't end today, so he's got a good shot to overtake Hall if he continues playing like this.
Well, Breece Hall won't be back for a little while. He's done for the season,
Done
isn't
for
he?
the year. Oh, yeah. He's done. That's too bad for the Jets. He was kind of the one that was bringing it all together for that offense.
Yeah, he was mainly responsible for that 4-game win streak there that they're on.
Yeah, I would agree.
George Kittle, 6 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown.
Boom. This San Francisco offense is going to be a little bit hard to predict now moving forward. Now that they've got McCaffrey, it's going to be, there's a lot of weapons there to defend. You got to defend Kittle, Debo, McCaffrey, Ayuk. That's a lot and a lot of like really good run after the catch guys. So that's going to be a tough offense to defend.
They have a lot of different ways to score. They even have Kyle Juszczyk.
Right? Yeah.
Like he's not easy to take down. Like
no, usually he's setting the blocks, but yeah, he's
they give
he's
him those odd goal line carries.
They do. Oh yeah, he vultures a touchdown here and there.
Shall we get to the duds?
Let's do it.
Romeo duds. 0 receptions for 0 points against that Commanders team.
Let's just say it. This guy's a total 0.
Was I right though? Bold sports prediction last week.
Oh yeah, good hit. Yeah.
The Commanders really did come through.
Like a blind squirrel finding a nut.
And I won't use this as my bold sports prediction, but I could see Green Bay losing a 4th game in a row to Buffalo this Sunday night.
That's not bold though.
No, it's not bold. So I won't use that, but I'll mention it right here.
Yeah, well, I think everyone thinks that. That's why I was thinking about taking Green Bay for a super ultra bold prediction.
Well, you put some more thought into that.
Yeah, we'll have to think about that some more.
Noah Fant, 1 reception for 7 yards.
Noah Fant, probably never worth mentioning again in this section.
I just had to mention him because I did start him, and also because that Seattle offense is rolling right now. They are winning, leading that division as well.
Yeah, shockingly, yeah. It's awesome for them. I'm cheering for Geno.
Mandrews.
He wasn't the man.
He wasn't man enough last week.
No, he was not.
1 rush for 0.4 fantasy points.
Yeah, that's a big ouch. I think they were just enjoying themselves running Gus Edwards into that Cleveland defense, and it was working, so they just stuck with it.
I guess we could have mentioned Gus as part of one of our studs, but it was just loaded with concentrated on 4 or 5 backs. Right?
There's other guys that did even better. So, but he did very well last week in his return from injury.
Josh Reynolds, 1.3 fantasy points. I was hoping, that he would get some targets, but yeah, I didn't see really any.
Yeah, that Detroit game kind of. Swift was supposed to play, didn't end up playing. That hurts big time. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown gets what they thought was a concussion early in the game, gets pulled, and is not allowed back, not allowed to return. That hurt because that's their kind of the go-to guy. And that Dallas defense dials up the pressure. And when that happens, Goff is not exactly Mr. Smooth back there when it comes to pressure. So if he doesn't have his main targets, especially his dump-off targets, he's going to fizzle.
Chase Edmonds, 1.7 fantasy points.
Yeah, he started the year, everyone thought Edmonds was going to be the man, and Mostert has clearly taken over that backfield.
DK Metcalf.
Cat.
Let's turn this shit back.
Meow.
DK. My next team fantasy name, DK Metcalf.
Cat.
DK Metcalf, 1.7 fantasy points.
Yeah, he got hurt there in that game, and that's too bad. Luckily, it sounds like he avoided major injury and should be back later in the season, but Tough one for him.
Yeah, he did get hurt, and now he says he might play this weekend.
What?
So, yeah, I
Wow.
saw a report today say he might play.
Huh.
Just
Okay.
like Russell Wilson, like he might play in London this week.
I heard he was doing calisthenics on the plane on the way to London.
Did the plane leave already?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nick Folk, I got to mention a kicker because the Pats let me down on Monday, and he only kicked 2 extra point.
Andrews just looked like he went down awkwardly. Nick Folk, I got no comments on kickers.
I know, he snuck his way in here. I got some bad blood with the Pats now. And in fact, this is not a bold sports prediction at all, but I think the Jets are going to hand the Patriots, who are favored in this matchup coming up, they're going to hand the Pats a consecutive loss.
Yeah, that's a tough one because that's a divisional game. And the Jets are going to be without Breece Hall and who some consider the Jets' best offensive lineman, Elijah Vera Tucker, is out for the season. So they lost 2 key components to that offense this past week. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic changes. Yeah. Oh, and they traded for James Robinson.
We did forget to mention
that
James Robinson has a new home.
Yes. Interesting trade. I was a little surprised by that because I didn't see that move coming. I didn't think that the Jets were in dire need of acquiring another running back because they already have Michael Carter, he did well last season at the end of the year. Breece Hall, yes, he's out for the season, but it's not like they're going to win anything this year. Like, this is not a team that's going to the Super Bowl. So why would you trade for James Robinson? I don't know. Didn't make a lot of sense to me, but maybe they're feeling it in New York and they just want to try and keep it rolling.
4-game winning streak.
Yeah, I guess that would make you feel it in New York.
But yeah, big ups to those ETN owners. I own ETN in a couple leagues, and that is just great news that they really believe in him.
Yeah, his value has skyrocketed, obviously.
Do you want to touch on the Vikings before we get to our bold sports predictions?
There's not too much to report here. They're coming off a bye week, so hopefully they're well rested. Injury situation is pretty good considering they've only lost Lewis Cine for the year, which hurts, but a rookie, so he wasn't being counted on for a whole lot yet. Other than that, though, they're pretty healthy and look to, hopefully after a week of self-scouting, they're able to come out and be a little more efficient in this game against the Arizona Cardinals. And Kyler Murray, this week, I guess the multiplayer version of the game that he is obsessed with online became available. And so this is the type of thing where apparently there's a stat for this. Whenever there's bonus XP weekends in Call of Duty, get that. When there's bonus XP weekends, his stats are down in the game that follows. So that's how deep the obsession goes.
Yeah, you want to hear a stat regarding the Vikings?
Sure.
Minnesota Vikings, they're on a bye right now, but Minnesota Vikings through 6 weeks of football have the least amount of penalty yards per game.
Yeah. The offensive line is probably the main culprit here because last year Oli Udoh was one of the starters on the line and he got quite a few penalties, holding penalties in particular, false starts, holding. He is not a starter this season, and it's a huge difference. Christian Darrisaw, the one who's replaced him at left tackle, doesn't have a penalty yet. He has only given up, I think, 3 pressures on the season, no sacks. And as a left tackle, going against the best rushers, generally, week in, week out, that's really good. So he's a stud. He's becoming, approaching Pro Bowl / dare I say, all-pro levels.
Here's another stat for you guys, free of charge while we're at it. Cincinnati Bengals have had 7 consecutive games without allowing a second half touchdown.
7? Wow.
Consecutive games.
Whoever that defensive coordinator is, he's making some solid halftime adjustments.
And one can be said that Bengals defense is heating up.
Yeah, it must be. They had a good defense last year. Yep.
Mid-pack.
Yeah, upper, I would say. Top 10, top 15-ish, that range.
Let's get to the bowl. Bow.
Doom, down. Bold sports prediction.
Okay, I'm going to go first here.
Okay.
I'm going to say Philly continues its dominance coming out of the bye. And they go 15-0. And then they suffer their first loss of the season to the Dallas Cowboys in Week 16.
Yeah, that's bold. I mean, they do have an easy schedule, quote unquote. No schedule is truly easy in the NFL. But, yeah, they've got a very favorable schedule, and I could totally see that.
I had a little gander at their schedule. It's one of the most favorable in the league.
It is, I know. We said that before the year even started.
Yeah. And I was just picking out, okay, well, what game could be like a creeper game? They're not going to go undefeated. I don't believe that.
No, I don't think so either. Their division is tough enough that...
And Dallas, they have a stout defense this year. And then Dak, like another 8 games to prepare for that matchup, you know?
Right, get back in his groove.
Which will probably be flexed to Sunday night. And America's team can have some glory for a day.
Yep. No, that's fair. I could see it's a divisional matchup too, so those are always tight. Giants are doing good this year too, so never count them out to sneak in a victory in.
Yeah, the Giants are on the schedule a few weeks before that, and I thought about using the Giants, but it's in Philly, so I decided to go with the game that's in Dallas later in the season.
For sure. If they're 15-0 also, they might have everything wrapped up. They might not even be playing their guys.
Which might not even be that bold by the time that Week 16 matchup with the Cowboys.
But it's bold to predict anyone to be 15-0, so I'll give you that.
And then add the loss.
Yeah,
right?
Sure, right.
It's pretty bold. It's a
twofold.
twofold.
It's absolutely, yeah. That's definitely, that's huge. Okay,
what you got for me?
I'm gonna, it's tough. I was looking at the schedule, and there's not a lot I see there that's worth calling a bold prediction. So, I'm going to go bold on the Vikings and say that they're going to win by 2 touchdowns this weekend. They're going to finally piece it all together and have one of those quote-unquote quality win that's going to turn people into believers. I do think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to go off and have a huge day because the Vikings they kind of play like this soft shell, and I think DeAndre is going to feast on that. But I do think that the Vikings are going to get after it. The crowd's going to be loud and boisterous. And Kyler Murray is going to have difficulties trying to communicate. He'll throw a pick, maybe a fumble. And that's going to be the difference in the game. And that's going to flip the script. And the Vikings are going to walk away with a big victory.
I could see that game going over. The total is 48.5, and last game they played was last year, and it was a 34-33 stunner.
Yeah, they missed on the Vikings lost on a missed last-second field goal by Greg Joseph.
And I could see this game being another game inside, coming off the bye. I like your prediction here. I like it. I could see Minnesota playing real well, and I hope they play real well.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Coming off a week of self-scouting.
Self-scouting. Well, should we let the listeners go of this agony? Let them free themselves?
I'll be gone.
We are currently watching the Buccaneers and Ravens matchup Thursday night. It's currently 10-3 for the Bucs, but not too much going on either side.
It's been a kind of boring game so far.
I've got the under tonight, the under 45.5, so let's go. No points.
Right now you're looking good.
So far so good, but it's Brady. So
yeah.
And Lamar, He likes to dance.
He can do whatever he wants.
He likes to salsa.
All right. Well,
All right. He likes the jukebox. I'll stop now.
Yeah, nobody can see you.
So yeah, we'll see you guys next week for We'll see you guys next week for episode 17 of the Two Canadians Football Podcast.
Be excellent to each other.
Be Miller genuine to each other.
Party on.
Wayne.